Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Pastor Jeff Sanders from Grace Family Fellowship, about to put on an Alice training, which will be helping to protect people who are feeling unprotected in case of, in this particular instance, would be in case of a live shooter.
Yeah, an active shooter. Right, an active shooter situation. We're looking for particularly like CEOs of companies. If you're in the administration of a hospital, a nursing home, a public school, a private school, some area business, you've got 20, 30 employees. Or if you only have 5 employees, you're more than welcome. But please look up alicetraining.com and register with our seminar, which will be held at Grace Family Fellowship, my church in Perry Township.
Some people, Jeff, say we just need more strict, more stringent gun laws. What do you say?
Look at Paris, France. How strict are the gun laws there? I'm pretty sure it's illegal to have an AK-47 in Paris, France. And yet, what happened? Terrorists went in there with AK-47s and just mowed people down. Fully automatic machine guns, okay? By the way, the AK-47 or the AR-15 that you purchase at Fin, Feather, and Fur down the street, those are not assault rifles, okay? Let's get that out of our head. There's no such thing as an assault rifle being sold down the street at Fin, Feather, and Fur unless they have some special permit, okay? I've seen a few. An assault rifle is a gun that can fire not only semi-auto, that means one bullet each time you pull the trigger, bang, bang, bang. Then it has a switch. An assault rifle has to have a switch. You flick that switch, and then you pull the trigger, and it fires fully automatically, which is now a machine gun. To get such a weapon in Ohio...
A machine gun in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, it's, an AK-47 that has a selector switch is now an assault rifle. If it doesn't have a selector switch, which is what people buy here in Ohio, they don't have selector switches, they are not assault rifles. They're semi-automatic rifles. But in France, you can't even own a semi-automatic rifle, and yet they mow down Lord knows how many people. So more stricter laws. I mean, look at what happened in New Haven, in Connecticut, where they invaded the school, right? The laws in Connecticut are extremely strict. The guy stole the legally purchased AR-15 from his mother, killed her, went into the school and mowed down children. Now, I'm pretty sure all the law was against that. But somehow he got access to the gun.
You're a very interesting person. You're a pastor.
Yes.
And do you ever get called the Pistolpacking Pastor? Because you
only by my friends.
Because you are also a CCW instructor.
Yes, I am.
Talk about connecting those dots.
Well, I'm a shepherd who protects his sheep. I am not a violent person. I have never, I've never harmed a soul in my life unless we've gotten in the ring. I'm also a black belt in karate, and I teach self-defense.
Don't mess with Pastor Jeff.
Oh, no, well, I teach self-defense mainly to ladies. I teach to men also. But on an as-needed basis, people come to me and say, can you teach my daughter and I self-defense? How would a 5'2", 120-pound woman defend herself against a 6'4", 250-pound man? You can't box with this guy. You can't go for a couple of rounds. No. You've got maybe 3 or 4 seconds to inflict enough damage so you can escape. Well, I show them how to do that in a 2-hour seminar. And I believe it is a godly, righteous thing to show people how to defend the defenseless, how to protect the innocent. Jesus said, turn the other cheek. Yes, he did say that. He said, when someone strikes you on the right cheek. Most people are right-handed. So, Susie, if I took my right hand here and I were to strike you on the right cheek, how would I do that? Like this, with my hand upside down?
That's true.
No, I would do it backhanded, right? And the backhanded slap is not a lethal strike. It is an insult. Jesus said, you can bear insults. He never said, if someone's coming at you with lethal force, why, just go ahead and let them do it.
Interesting.
No, we are to protect the innocent and defend the defenseless. And so I offer not only CCW courses on my own time, I also offer self-defense courses. They're 2-hour seminars. If anybody's interested, and they can give me a call. You can call me. My number is 330-936-0226.
Let's give that again. Let's give that one more time.
It's 330-936-0226. Just give me a call, and we'll set up a time for a self-defense course. They're only 2 hours apiece.
You're like a personal trainer that
sort
would
of
be able to sit down with someone, your family, your loved ones.
Sure.
and be able to, in 2 hours, give them the tools they need to be
Right.
unarmed and yet able to protect themselves against a surprise attack.
I've taught women's groups on a Wednesday night, as many as 25 ladies. I don't touch the ladies. What I do is I demonstrate with my son, who is a black belt. We're a martial arts family. All 3 of my sons are black belts. And I demonstrate on my son the technique. The ladies pair up with their best girlfriend, and then we go through the techniques. Nobody gets harmed. We do not punch or kick each other. But I show you very simple to remember, very effective techniques to repel an attacker. He will never want to mess with you ever again.
Something must have inspired you to
Yes.
take these kinds of actions. What has been
I am
that
5
spark?
feet 6 inches tall, and I am 165 pounds. And when I was a kid, I was picked on all my life. I also had an older brother. Just think about that. And I said, I am sick and tired of being picked on, so I will do something about it. So I learned karate. And I became a black belt many years ago, and I practice every single day. My son goes to Crafts Kempo, which is in Massillon, which is an excellent martial arts school. We don't teach tournament stuff or fancy things. We teach simple, effective, dirty street fighting. When I say dirty street fighting, when you have to stop a brutal attacker who's coming at you, you cannot be nice. You have to stop the attack. We can be nice later when he's behind bars. I can talk to him about Jesus when he's behind bars, okay? And I will. But I got to stop the attack first, right? I don't want him hurting my wife or my kid, right? So we can't be nice. We'll be nice later.
Some people say, but this means you have to be actual in physical contact with your attacker. Are there other ways? Can
Run.
you use pepper spray, run, scream,
pepper
those
spray
kinds
is,
of things?
oh, please, yes, pepper spray is great. I'll tell everybody, go to Dobransky Firearms or go to Finn Feather. Man, we're giving them all kinds of free
Yes,
advertisement day, aren't we?
Hey, Jordy Rosedale, love him over there.
Go
Yes.
go down there. Listen, go get a little $10 little canister of pepper spray. It's called Sabre. It has OC in it. That is very, very effective. OC is pepper spray, oleo capsicum, okay? And it's what the Marines and the Army use to put people on the ground. You spray from ear to ear. It's very effective. Now, it won't stop everybody if someone's on drugs. Okay, now they're immune to pain.
Wow.
It will slow them down. So you have to know stuff that will definitely stop somebody in their tracks.
Yes.
In my self-defense course, I also teach all kinds of homemade makeshift weapons, such as using a pen, using spare chains, using a wallet, using a flashlight, using a trash can top. You can a broom handle. All these things are homemade weapons, and if you can get your hands on them, they can be very, very effective.
Does it matter what your environment happens to be? I'm suggesting, can some of these things be done on an airplane, for instance?
Well, like I said, everything is a weapon. A rolled up newspaper, a magazine can be very, very effective if I ram it into somebody's throat, right? I mean, that's going to hurt. At least it's going to stun them, if not cause some...
They won't see it coming. They won't be expecting you to
Well,
behave that way.
They certainly would not expect it coming from me or from you, right? I mean, you look like this harmless person walking down the street, right? They're not
fairly harmless.
They're not expecting that you're going to inflict severe, possibly lethal damage on somebody, right? So yes, use your environment. Watch the James Bond flicks. He's always using his environment and slamming somebody into a wall. Again, I am not a violent person. I've never harmed a person in my life. I've never threatened anybody in my entire life. However, if violence should come my way and I have to stop the attack, I have the training necessary to do it.
Tell us what we can expect at Alice Training. What can we look forward to that day? What will those days look like?
Well, the first day is enlightening everybody to the threat, okay, and then letting everybody know that, the success of Alice Training, so they will have the confidence that they are actually getting top of the line, the very best training in the United States. Then the second day is we're actually going to run through scenarios. We're going to be in a situation, and here comes the threat. Here they come into the room. They're dressed like a terrorist or whatever. And then we have to run through it and run in. Perhaps some of us are going to go into a classroom and shelter in place. Others are going to try to escape out the building as quickly as possible. Again, very hard to shoot at a moving target. Then if someone breaks into the room, how are you going to stop the attack? So we practice ganging up on people. Now, nobody gets injured.
Okay.
We don't break anybody's bones or anything. And we'll have a lot of fun learning, but it's a very serious situation.
How important is it for schools and churches, let's say, for churches to hold these kinds of drills.
Well, look at the church in Charleston, South Carolina. 9 people were gunned down, and Dylan Roof had time to reload. And nobody had the forethought
to tackle him.
Well, of course, you're scared to death.
Yeah, and you're
blood
shocked.
is going going everywhere, all over everybody. What are you going to do? Well, you see, again, you're not going to rise to the occasion. You're going to fall back on your training. It's what I tell my congregation all the time. You're going to fight like you train. We need to spiritually train every day, right?
Yes.
Then when the crunch time comes and the tragedy comes into our life, we'll be able to handle it to some degree. Well, we need to physically train and go through these drills because you're going to fight like you train. So churches need this. Boy, do church, especially the really big churches.
Is a 2-hour seminar with you, or a 2-day seminar on this, really something that will reprogram us so that when that time, if that time, God forbid, should ever happen, this is what you fall back on? Or do you need refreshers?
You do need refreshers. We always need refreshers in almost anything. With Alice training, a 2-day seminar is going to be sufficient for maybe a year or two. Plus, they give you material so that you can constantly refresh yourself. But there are people who go through the Alice training 3 years later, they go through it again. They bring their friends from the company. Now, when you go through my personal course in self-defense, how to defeat an unarmed attacker, how to defeat an armed attacker, I actually give you a manual that I have written myself, and I've illustrated it myself. I've shown you how to get out of a choke, how to get out of it if someone's sitting on your chest trying to pound your face in, how to do all these things. And so you actually get the manual so that you can review it at your leisure. And I tell all of my students, all the ladies, you will fight like you train. If you take just one course from me and you say, okay, I'm good from now on, no, you're not. You need to train. You need to go get your best friend, go train with your husband, go train with your 18-year-old son, and say, here, son, get me in this chokehold here. See if I can get out of this. Tell him to be nice, though. Be nice to mom, okay?
That's right. Go easy on it.
Yeah.
Because our muscles have memory.
Exactly.
And if the more we do it, the more that would be the knee-jerk reaction.
Exactly.
To remember what you learned in training, not freeze up. Because at first, you've got to be just surprised.
Absolutely.
Because, like, I'm thinking of the people, at the carousel getting their suitcases, and suddenly, down in Florida, and suddenly...
Pop. There are all the gunshots. What do I do?
This is happening? Right.
Well, people haven't been trained. So what am I going to do? Okay. So in Alice training, you're trained and conditioned to know what do the sounds sound like. What should you expect when you hear the first sound of the gun going off? And then you immediately follow the training that you have participated in, and it kicks in.
AliceTraining.com. Pastor Jeff Sanders, thank you so much for bringing this to our community.
Thank you, Susie. Appreciate it.